The Delta variant continues to cause a rapid increase in the corona numbers in Great Britain. Over 34,000 new cases were registered on Monday, and on average the infections in the last 7 days were 50% higher than the previous week. The country had last recorded such high numbers of infections around Christmas 2020, when the second wave was approaching its peak. Observers at home and abroad are therefore amazed that Boris Johnson's government is now pursuing a research opening course. Many continental Europeans reacted with disbelief to the picture they received from the United Kingdom at the weekend. The tennis final in Wimbledon and the final of the European Football Championship at Wembley Stadium took place in front of almost full stands, with all visitors as part of one official test operation for major events had to prove 2 corona vaccinations or a negative test. Accentuated media reports according to which rampaging fans had turned London into an actual battlefield only showed a small part of the reality. But it would be a surprise if the huge football euphoria of the last few days did not manifest itself in an increase in the number of infections, even if it is unclear how important this is in view of the already increasing numbers. In any case, the British government sees no reason to deviate from its opening course announced a week ago. Rather, Johnson confirmed on Monday evening that all legal corona restrictions will fall in England on July 19th, with the exception of quarantine and test obligations for people who could have been infected with the virus or were in contact with an infected person. The decision is logical insofar as the government accepts higher contagion rates in the summer and during the school holidays. Johnson emphasized that if the openings were postponed to September, the third corona wave would not peak until the fall, when colds accumulated due to the weather and the health system would soon reach its capacity limits. However, the strategy is like walking a tightrope. Great Britain has one of the world's highest vaccination rates, and especially among the older population groups, vaccination skepticism is much lower than in many continental European countries. By July 19th, virtually all over 40s and 2/3 of all adults will have been double vaccinated, and all over 18s will have the opportunity to have a first vaccination. Vaccination also significantly reduces the risk of hospitalization in the contagious Delta variant, but not 100%, as Chris Whitty, Johnson's chief medical advisor, admitted. He therefore warned of capacity bottlenecks in the healthcare system if the currently low hospitalizations should rise too sharply. Scientists are assuming 1,000 to 2,000 hospital admissions per day in the summer. In addition, if the number of cases explodes, the new virus variants could also emerge. According to Whitty, it's now crucial that the increase in infections after July 19th does not go beyond all dimensions. Accordingly, Johnson adopted a more cautious tone last week. Even if the legal restrictions have fallen, the government is now increasingly relying on non-binding recommendations, he said. Companies are urged not to call their employees back from the home office in one fell swoop. The government continues to recommend wearing masks indoors. Nightclubs that are allowed to open for the first time in 18 months, Johnson suggests, only let in vaccinated, tested or recovered guests on a voluntary basis. If the country records 100,000 infections per day, as Health Minister Sajid Javid predicted, the number of British people who have to isolate themselves for 10 days as contacts could rise to millions. Because people who have been vaccinated twice will not be released from quarantine obligations until mid-August, which should have a dampening effect on the opening speed. Overall, however, Johnson is taking great risks with this plan, which is why he has withdrawn from the promise that all opening steps are irreversible. But in the short term, the only way to reduce the contagion today is with a lockdown, a step that the Labour opposition does not want to expect of the British either. And I'll see you in my next video. Auf Wiedersehen.